Hello, Leo. Welcome to the Very Virgoan channel. I am Veronica Virgo, and I'll be giving you your October 2022 monthly reading. A little bit about the cards I'm using tonight. This lovely Halloween tarot deck that I busted out just for the occasion. Lots of whimsical, fun imagery in this deck. I'll also be reading from the spell casting oracle cards deck that I used back in August, because no better time to do a spell than in October and for Halloween, right? So let's get started with your reading. Tonight I'll be doing, as I have in previous months, a 5-card reading covering career, finance, health, love, and advice. So let's get started, Leo. Okay, your first card is the Two of Imps. Now the imps correspond with swords in this, wands in this deck. Two fighting imps here, I think has a little bit to do with family, because the card typically, or the Two of Wands typically represents decisions or leaving home. And since you've got sort of a parental figure there holding two twin imps, I wonder, Leo, if you're not maybe fighting a little bit with a sibling. If you're young enough to still live at home, maybe you're thinking like, I got to get the hell out of here. Or it could even be that in your home, there is strife with whomever you live with, whether it's your roommate, your husband, wife, significant other, something like that. That's sort of what I'm seeing. But in relation to the career position, it may be that you have a fellow coworker that you're fighting with, that there's a lot of strife between you. You maybe even had to have some mediation sessions, or you will have to have some mediation sessions, but it's got you thinking like, I may need to leave this job because I can't hack this anymore. I'm sorry if that's happening for you, Leo, but that's what I'm getting there. But since I was feeling a need to mention the familial strife, that could be true for some others reading, watching this reading as well. Let's take a look at your finances. Well, despite whatever strife you're experiencing in your career life or your home life, your finances are looking pretty darn good. I mean, the Sun is one of the best cards you can get. It's a card of joy and success. I mean, all of the little entities, the skulls and the shrunken heads and the pumpkins and the monsters and the skulls are all looking super happy. So, if you have a family, you're providing well for your family, and they're very delighted. They're very delighted that you're taking good care of them. But it could be that you feel like you're bowing down to them all the time, and this, you're always having to like deal with fighting kids and everything, and you're being the provider, and it's like, geez, I take good care of you, I give you everything you want, and there's still all this strife in the house, Could be something like that. All right, let's take a look at your health. Queen of Bats. Okay, so the bats correspond with swords in this deck, and the Queen of Swords is someone who, as I always say, doesn't take any shit off anybody. She's been through a lot. She's very clear-minded. She holds up that sword because she's like, okay, I'm going to make sure you're on the up and up before I have anything to do with you. She is welcoming in the bat. So, there are people that she does trust, but you kind of got to go through the gauntlet with the Queen of Swords before she fully trusts you. She's a very complicated ruler. You see the kitty there's a little bit afraid, might be afraid of the bat, but I think he or she's maybe a little afraid of the woman as well. So it could be, if you're a female, Leo, you might be one of those folks that is like a super exerciser, fitness person, and your athleticism intimidates people. I could see that. And really, you don't even have to be female, but I think there's a very sort of feminine energy communicated with this card as much as with the King of Swords and the sword characters particularly. I don't think I need to tell you to ramp up your exercise regime, because I feel like those who are listening are probably doing pretty good with it. And it may be that you even need to cut back a little bit. You might be taking your tension from this sort of strife at work or at home and, working through it by working out. So I would say that, take care of yourself, and that can be done through exercise, but also think about self-care as nurturing, and that you might want to do some stuff that's a little gentler for yourself. Knock off a couple of those nights marathon running or training for the marathon and do some yoga, or, just go to the sauna and relax and then go home or something like that, Leo. How about your love life? The moon. Woo! So the moon is all about intuition. Your unconscious, your fantasy life. And I think it's interesting that there's a werewolf on this, because in a lot of these movies with the werewolf, they'll not realize they're a werewolf until like somebody points it out to them, and then they're like, holy shit, I'm a werewolf. But somewhere down deep inside, they kind of knew, right? They kind of knew something was happening. And I feel like you're being testy with your romantic people. I tend to think there's people rather than person, but I could be wrong. Or that you're being like overly aggressive with them somehow, whether that's physical, like in a kind of sexual way, or that you're being short with them and kind of cranky. This is a lobster, but I was thinking crab. You're being a crab. So you might need to take it kind of easy, and on some level that you're doing this. You have an intuition that you're doing this, Leo, but you're ignoring it. And you need to break down some of the subconscious stuff that's going on for you in your health and your love life. And that you're kind of working it overtime, but to no avail. You're not feeling a lot of satisfaction in it. So I think self-care and nurturing, look at this dog. This dog is really puzzled. Like, it's another dog, but it's like, I don't understand what's happening. I've never done that, right? That's your wife. Or that's your hubs, All right, Leo, let's see what your advice is. 5 of Imps. So back to the Imps again. All right, so in this case, there's some sort of like rivalry or competition going on, and you can see they're all like about ready to beat each other with these wands here, and they're unlit wands. So it's almost like the creative nature that can come out of competition is absent. It's just pure old like conflict. And I'm going to put it under this. I feel like you're having some problems in the career arena. It started out with home stuff, and I still think it can apply, especially with a significant other, but it's almost like you're taking your work home with you. And so here you are, you're this great provider, but you're like working yourself to death or over exercising yourself to death to deal with stress, but you're still bringing it home subconsciously and being kind of nasty to the people you love. And it all ends up in this like sort of never ending nonsense conflict, Leo. It's not all about money, and I don't think that you think that, but as long as you can kind of look successful on paper, and the sun is your ruling sign, right? You might sort of not realize what else is going on with you. And this is in no way trying to tell you you're a bad person. We all have oversights with the people that we love when we're stressed out. So this might help you realize that. You already knew on a subconscious level, right? All right, compassion. Look at that right there. That is the perfect card for you. Compassion for yourself first. Compassion for the numbnuts you work with second. Because they are people too, and they want to be happy too. I know it's frustrating, but try to give them a little bit of compassion. See yourselves in their shoes, or their hooves, as it were. in this case, because they probably do seem like little devils. And compassion with your family or the people that you love, the people that are around you that you care about. Okay, let me read what the magical meanings beyond what I've already said are for this card. It's safe to open up to others. An emotional upheaval is healed. See another's point of view. Honor your feelings. Someone needs your support, right? Not your financial support, emotional support. And there are lessons to learn. We never stop learning. We never stop learning until our last breath. And then we probably go on and learn something else in the ether, you know? So here's your spell if you care to invoke it or if you just want to come back and listen to it. Hold a green crystal to your heart chakra on a waxing gibbous moon phase on a Friday at dusk. Take a deep breath to go deep within and say, crystals heal a broken heart, emotions ready to impart. Sympathy or tender touch, kind words welcome very much. Charity begins at home, but let pity freely roam. Love, support, and hugs all round. Now compassion has been found. And you know what? I remember from the last reading that I did for you on the new moon, I was telling you that it might help you to get a counselor of some sort. If you haven't done that, you really should do that in October because it can help. It can really, why did I do that? It can really help. All right, we got the sun, ruling card, double confirmation. We have Pisces. That corresponds with the moon and a 5. So 5 of imps here, you're dealing with 5 people, whether that's family, career, like people at work, something like that. But 5 is significant for you. Maybe 5 projects that you're wrestling with. But if that means something to you, then again, confirmation. Pisces is not ruled by the moon, it's ruled by Neptune, but it is in those watery, it's associated with those watery intuitive depths. So if your partner by any chance is a Pisces, like let him or her or they know that you're doing this work. Like, I don't want to be snappy. I don't want to be crabby with you. I want us to have a good relationship where you don't have to feel so guarded with me. Okay. And again, like with the sun, just confirming the things that I'm saying here. So although it's not like the most cheerful reading that ever was, I think it might help you get some things sorted out in your head and give you a direction to go. And the direction to go is always compassion for yourself, compassion for difficult people, because we're all stumbling through it and we all want to be happy. So just remember that at the end of the day. Okay, Leo. So thank you so much for watching this reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be back for the full moon and new moon readings this month. And I'm also going to be doing a subscribers only live reading costume party on Halloween night. If you're interested in joining, don't forget to subscribe. So thank you so much, Leo. And I will see you on the flip side.